Welcome to One Into Class. Myself Soumyajit. I'm going to discuss today about basic graphs and their transformation. These are the 6 transformations I'm going to discuss in this video. The first transformation I'm going to discuss, like f of x. If a graph f of x is given, like we know, and if it is f of x plus 1 to be drawn, then we should what we should do? We should plot the graph of f of x first, and then you should move the graph upward by a units. If it is minus a, then you should downward the graph by a units. Now, take one example. Let me consider y equal to mod x 1 graph. Now, we all know the basic graphs of mod that I have discussed in the previous video. This is the graph of mod x, right? Now, if it is mod x plus 2, if I am drawing the graph y equal to mod x plus 2, what will happen? Let me check. Now for mod x, it is x minus x when x greater than 0 or x less than 0. This is minus x. Now for this basic graph, x and y, we check x and y. If you put the value of x, then mod of 2 will become 2. If you put the value of minus 2, this will become also 2. So that means if you put 2 here, this will become 2, 2. And this is, if you put minus 2, you will get the graph minus 2, 2. Now you see here, it will become x plus 2 when x greater than 0, minus x plus 2 when x less than 0. Now you put the value. Now you check. Let me consider x and y. See the values first. For x equal to 2, this will become 4. X equal to minus 2, this will become 4. That means the graph will start, and if it is x is 0, then you will get 2. That means if this is 2, this graph will start from here, because you see 2 from at the point 2, this will become 4 somewhere here, 4, and this minus 2, this will become 4. So this is the transformation of f of x plus a. Now at the same time, you take y equal to mod x minus 2. What will happen? You see, use the definition of mod. So this will become x minus 2 when x greater than 0, minus x minus 2 when x less than 0. Correct? Now see the values x and y. For x equal to 2, you put, it is 2. If you put 2, it will become 0. Right? And this is minus 2, then this will become 0. And if it is x is 0, this will become minus 2. So the graph will start from this point, and this will cut like this. It will be. So we have seen the changes. If f of x plus a, then shift upward a units, shift upward a units, and if it is f of x minus a, shift downward a units. Now we can see some other example in the Desmos so that it will be more clear. Let me consider one graph. Take e to the power x. E to the power x. You see, this is the graph of e to the power x. Now I am plotting the graph of e to the power x plus 2. You see the changes. The graph, this was the graph of e to the power x. This color graph is black is e to the power x. The color, see the changes. 2 units upward. It was 0 to 0, 1 in the y-intercept. Y-intercept was 1, but for e power x plus 2, y-intercept is 3. Correct. Now see the changes again for f of x minus 2. That is e to the power x minus 2. See, the graph is downward of 2 units to the original graph. 1, and this here, this is minus 1. The difference is 2. Right? So I think this is clear. Oh, you can plot the graph of sin x, cos x, many other function in the same way, same pattern. Now we'll go to the next transformation, that is f of x plus a, f of x plus minus a. For this graph, I will again consider the function as mod so that I can explain you in better way. Let me consider the graph of f of x as mod x. So this is x minus x. X when greater than or equal to 0, that will become x. When x is less than 0, this will become minus x. Now what I am doing, I am taking, this is again, we know the graph of mod x. We know the graph of mod x, we know. If you don't know, check my previous video and see the basic graphs so that you will understand better. Now I'm transforming to mod of x plus 2. What is mod of x plus 2? That is mod of x plus 2 means, now you see what I have shown. If f of x plus a, obviously a is positive, you then shift the graph of f of x a units towards left. That means if graph starts from here, then a units means this graph will start from here, left towards left. And if it is a units f of x minus a, then graph will start from here. So that we will see as example of f of mod x. So this will become x plus 2 when x plus 2 greater than 0. X minus of x plus 2 when x plus 2 less than 0. You see what happens now for this function. This function I'm writing, I'm seeing the value of x and y. If you put x equal to 0, y equal to 0, x equal to 2, this will become 2. X equal to minus 2, this will become mod of minus 2. Mod of minus 2 will become 2. So that means 0, 0. This is 0, 0. And let me write here 2. So this is 2, 2. And let me write here minus 2. So this will become minus 2, 2. Now what will happen is, see the changes. See the changes. Mod of x plus 2. Now this is y. This is nothing but y. This is x, y. Now you take x as 0. You take x as 0. What will happen? It will become 2. And then when you take x equal to 2, this will become 4. When you take x equal to minus 2, this will become 0. That means graph will start from minus 2. And for x is 0, this will become 2. That means, let me take here 2, that is 0, 2. The graph will move like this. 2, 2, this will become 4, 2, 4. And from minus 2, this will become 0. You take minus 3, so this will become 1. So the graph will be like this. Right? This mod of x plus 2. You check again for, let's say, again, I will check for y equal to mod of x minus 2. Again, see the changes. See the changes. What, according to the theory, it will shift right. Right? Shift right. That means x and y, you take the value of x and y. See, x for x equal to 0, this will become 2. If x equal to 0, this will become 2. If it is 2, then 0. If it is minus 2, this will become 4. That means the graph will start from here. After 2, let me take the value some other than more than 2. You take the value more than 2. So this will become 4. If you take 4, so this will be 4 minus 2 is 2. So the graph will be like this. And it will cut the y-axis from at 0, 2. Right? This is the graph of mod of x minus 2. So these are the transformation that you have to know. First thing, you have to know the basic graph. To plot the graph of x plus 2, what you need to do? First, you need to draw the graph of mod x. This is important. In previous also we have seen. To draw the graph of mod x plus 2, you should draw the first mod x. And then draw the graph of mod x plus 2, mod x minus 2, whatever the thing is. First, you should know the basic graph and then transform to mod x plus 2 or mod x minus 2. Same here. Let me go to the next transformation, that is A. Now, I will show you some other example of this transformation too, that is f of x plus a or f of x minus a. We'll see the changes for same graph. We'll see, take one graph as I'm considering. We have seen the graph of mod. Now I will take some trigonometric function. Let me take sine of x. You see the graph of sine x first. Now to draw the sine of x plus 3. X plus 3. Now I am taking pi by 2. See what happens. This was the graph of fx, and this is graph of f of x plus pi by 2. And you see both. It started from 0 here. Now the first cut, it is at minus pi by 2, 0. See, graph is shifted left. Again, I will draw the graph of sine of x minus pi by 2. See the graph. Again, it is changing. You won't understand the much difference in this graph. So we should consider one other graph. Let me take the graph as e power x. Or I am taking the graph of x square. I'm taking the graph of x square. You see the graph x square. And now see the graph of x plus 2 whole square. See, this is shifted to right, shifted left. See the graph of x minus 2 whole square. See, the graph is original graph is in the color of black, and then when it is x plus 2, this is color of red, it is shifted. See, I'm taking the vertex so that you will understand. The black is the original graph, black color graph is the original graph, and then the right one, it is the transformation of f of x plus 2, f of x plus 2, and then green, sorry, blue color graph is f of x minus 2. One graph is shifted left, one graph is shifted right. Right? Now I think you have understood. Now we'll go to the next transformation, that is f of x2, a times f of x, and 1 by a times f of x. Now to plot this graph, I will consider one easy example so that you can understand properly. Let me consider one graph as y equal to x. We all know the graph of y equal to x. We all know the graph of y equal to x. This is the straight line graph, y equal to x. Correct? Now, what I have shown, if a times fx, that means graph will expand or stretch the graph along y-axis. Stretch the graph along y-axis or expand the graph along y-axis. And this is contract the graph along y-axis if it is 1 by a times f of x. Now, how we have drawn the graph? Like you see, the value of x and y. For x equal to 2, this will become 2. For x equal to 0, this will become 0. For x equal to minus 2, this will become minus 2. This is minus 2, comma minus 2. This is 2, comma 2. And this all the way to 0, comma 0. Now what I am changing? I am considering y equal to 2x. Now what will happen? The graph will be expanded or stretched along y-axis by a units. That means you will take the same values, x and y. If it is x is 2, this will become 4. That means if it is 2, graph will be here 4. If x is 0, this will become 0. If x is minus 2, this will become minus 4. This minus 4, somewhere here, minus 4. So the graph will go like this. See the contraction, see the expand. It is graph is stretching towards y-axis, And let me consider y equal to 2x, 1 by 2x. Then what will be happening? For x equal to 2, graph will become 1. That means somewhere 2, this point I am taking 2, 4. This is point I am taking minus 2, 4. Now, for this 2, value of 2, the graph will become 1. That means y equal to 1. And if it is 0, then 0. If it is minus 2, this will become minus 2, minus 1. So this will become like this here. So graph will become like this. So the graph is getting stretched along y-axis. So these are the key points you have to remember. Now we'll see the graph in Desmos, the changes of graph. Now let me show you some example. I will take the graph of 2 to the power x. You can draw any graph you want. 2 to the power x, you have taken 2 to the power x. Now I am taking the value more than 1 as a, so this will become, let me take 4 into 2 to the power x. Now what happens? You won't understand this. Now it means the graph will be like this. So we'll take one example which can be understood in better way. Like if you say, if it is x square graph, x square, and then 2 times x square. See, graph is getting stretched or expanded towards x-axis, sorry, y-axis. If it is 1 by 2 x square, see, graph is getting contracted or shrinked along y-axis, right? You can see any other example if you want with your own example. I will go to the next transformation, that is f of ax and f of 1 by ax. See, this is just reverse of the previous example. It was, that was along y-axis, everything was along y-axis. Now this is everything along x-axis. Now if you transform this ax, f of x to f of ax, what will happen? It will happen, contract the graph along x-axis and then stretch the graph along x-axis. For this also, I'll be considering the same example of the previous one, that is x. Now take y equal to x square, that is f of x equal to y equal to x square, right? We all know the graph of x square, the graph of x square. This is the graph of x square, parabolic graph. Now you transform this f of x to f of 2x. That means y will become 4x square, right? What will happen? See that some values, you take some values of x and y, you see the value of first f of x. Now for 0, this will become 0. This is for this 1, this will become 1. For 2, this will become 4. For -2, this will become 4. Right? Let 1, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4. This will become -2, 4. Correct? Now in these same values, we'll take the same values. Let me draw in the red color. X, y, you see, x, if you take x as 0, this will become 0. For x is 1, this will become 4. And for x equal to 2, this will become 16. And if it is -1, this will become 4. That means graph is getting stretched. Sorry, graph is getting contracted along x-axis. For 1, this will become 4 somewhere here. For this is 2, this will become 16 somewhere here. So the graph will be curved like this, and this also like this. Like this graph it will be. Now if you transform f of x to f of 1 by 2x, now what will happen? Now y will become x square by 4. So this x and y, you check the value, same values for x and y. 0, 0, 1, this will become 1 by 4. For 2, this will become 1. And for minus 2, this will become 1. So this 1, this will become like somewhere it is 1 by 4, somewhere like this. For 2, this will become 1. So the graph will be expanded. Right? Like this, you have to draw the graph of this transformation. You can see one example in Desmos. I'm considering one graph as sin x, or let me take cos x. This is the graph of cos x, we all know. Now cos of 2x. See what happens. It is getting shrinked. See, this is cos of 2x and this is cos x. It is getting more shrinked along x-axis by 2 units. Minus pi by 2. Then it is minus pi by 4. Right? You are seeing the difference? Now you see the difference again, cos of x by 2. See the difference? See the difference? It is getting stretched or expanded along x-axis by 2 units. These are the graph. These are the transformation. You have to remember. These are the basic 6 transformation that I have discussed today. Again, tomorrow at the same time, I'll be giving another video for another 6 transformation. Thank you.